Well, once again, another heavy day of spraying all night, and waking up this morning with a very stuffy nose and fever blister, cold sore. And I know I must be really sensitive to this aerosol spraying, because I know when I go outside that if my lips start to burn and I look up, the sky is just heavy with this aerosol spraying. And if you guys could see what I see, I would show you, but the sun's right in my eyes right now, as you can see as I'm talking to you as I'm driving here. It's probably not the best thing for me to be doing. But I don't know. I've got some guy that's on my Google Plus saying that, oh, it's not real, you know, they can't possibly carry that kind of payload. Well, I don't know who he is. I haven't had a chance to take a look at his information just yet, but I'll be, you know, investigating it some further. But I got to tell you, just from personal experience, you know, feeling the effects of chemtrails and geoengineering, and listening to the facts so far, I believe them that, and you know what they've been able to find as far as barium, selenium, and chlorine and aluminum, and I don't know, what is that, 4 chemicals so far. So anyway, I would also highly suggest that if there's heavy spraying in your area, that you try to shower. Try not to have your air conditioning on if you can do without it. If it gets too cold, you know, wear some layers of clothing. I wouldn't even have the heater on during these times that they're doing this to us. And you can see that HAARP is definitely involved. If you look at the HAARP report on YouTube, how they're holding the weather pattern. I mean, it's really odd. You know how the weather goes like in a circular motion? It kind of looks like sometimes it could turn into a hurricane or that sort of thing. But they've got it where the clouds are going both ways, and in a big hole, and it's circular, and it's holding pattern right off of the California. And then once they stop sending their electrical pulses, it'll go right to towards the rest of America, and just let that jet stream take it naturally across California and so forth. So we're not getting the rain that we need to get, and we're still, you know, we're going to have famine if the crops don't get water, and pestilence and more mold spores and that sort of thing. And I had a friend ask me today, well, why don't even the weathermen say anything? Well, because the weather reporters, they work for the news stations, and they work for the, you know, like all the alphabet soup stations, and or they work for newspapers, and who are all owned by people who are a part of this dark side, if you will. Don't really care about you and I. They've controlled the word, and they've controlled the people who are selected in office. They control everything, and they've already gotten their one world order, and they're trying to get that going, and we all know who's behind that. So that's the problem. And the first thing in the Bible that God said is to watch the weather. And that was one of the first of the signs that would alert us that things that are going to start coming faster and more furious, and he's at the door. So we as Christians need to go out and try to witness to as many people as possible. And where I work, it's, you know, it's not, some of you probably have the same situation where there's a policy in place that you cannot talk about religion or try to witness to people or convert or people. So you can always, drop a seed. You can, surface talk about it. If they ask you questions, you can, maybe kind of talk about it a little bit, but you really can't go into it too deeply with people. And so therefore you have to talk to them out of work. But it's a good place to try to see if they would be willing to discuss things with you. And where I work, I've got Jehovah's Witnesses, I've got Mormons, and other people who are just not believers. And so as someone who believes in the Lord and has His light inside of me, I do try to let it shine when I'm at work and know that He is my source. And He's put me there at that particular position for a reason, and I feel very blessed that I have the opportunity to be there. But it is difficult to try to witness at work, but it can be done. So that's what I wanted to try to tell you guys, that it is possible. It just takes a little bit more work, and that's not a problem. So anyway, the other thing that I learned as far as these chemtrails are concerned, and one of the things that we don't have enough of, and that will help the liver and the kidneys and so forth, muscles especially, is magnesium and vitamin D, because we're not getting enough sunlight with all of this cloud cover. We need more vitamin D, and I would suggest that you take 2,000 mg, I think it is, or whatever. Yeah, take 2 pills. Call me in the morning. You know what I mean? So that should work. And do it daily, or if you've already got it in your multivitamin, then that's great. But definitely take supplements to help you through this period. Well, I would just take it for a lifetime, actually. Take herbs. Try not to take any pharmaceuticals, because, I mean, if you think about it, if you ever looked at your doctor's uniform or his little, insignia that they have everywhere, the sword and the snake pharmaceuticals, that means pharma. It's magic. Snake. I mean, I just don't think I would really believe anything that has a snake on it, do you? So it's not always the best. And we see what's going on with the drug companies and how they're just, people are just paying through the nose for this pill and that pill, and the story goes on. There's a whole nother topic, which I won't get into right now. All right, well, anyway, that's all I have to say about that. Leave me a thumbs up comment if you wish. And before I get in an accident here, I'm going to sign off. Anyway, have a great one. Bye-bye.